Today we are here with two different cases. Right here I have the Tecware Alpha.
And this is the Tecware Alpha M, as the name suggests, the M80X.
Yeah, so these two cases are brothers, and this is just a full-size ATX with another M80X. But there are a lot of changes by just adjusting the motherboard size.
And today we are comparing both of them right here, right now, and let us see what kind of difference they have. And let's just start with the I/O.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So first things first, the I/O, the full-size version here, the Tecware Alpha, you have a total of 4 USB ports, 2 USB 3.0, 5 gigabits each, and then you also have 2 more USB 2.0 ports.
And meanwhile, for the Alpha M, we have 3 USB ports. One is the USB 3.0, 5 gigabits, and the other 2 is for USB 2.0. So we are one less USB port compared to the Alpha.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the other difference here is on the power and reset buttons. So you click on yours.
Let's listen to it.
Solid and clicky, but on the full-size one,
well,
you have a lot more give before it starts to actuate. And as for the reset switch
as well,
that one is, well, in general,
would say solid clicks.
Yeah, and you can press it without any sort of reset pin. But for this one, you can't press it with your fingers, so you need something pointy to poke it in.
Like a screwdriver
or a pen.
Yeah, like
so that's annoying to have around your case all around, so yeah, keep that in mind.
And as for the design wise, we can see that the front is very similar. We have just that this one is taller and this one is shorter, and the whole front panel is actually perforated mesh, so you can expect a lot more airflow from these two cases.
Yes, and that is good because nowadays a lot of mid-range cases are just focused on aesthetics, but these two cases are really airflow focused because when we look at the front panel and take it off, you can see a lot more airflow focused features.
So as you can see at the front panel, after we remove it, yeah, this is non-removable filters at the front here, so it's more like double layer filters. And straight away you can see the fan over here. But
so for that one, if you want to wash, you can just take this whole thing, chuck in a washing machine, and that's it.
No, don't do it!
I'm gonna do it because as for the full-size version, you can remove the front panel like this, but for this one you only have a single layer of mesh, but you do get another layer of magnetic fan filter. So I would say it's better in terms of service since you can just take it both separately and go and wash.
Easy to clean because even with this one, when you have double layer of filters with the metal mesh at the front and the filter at the back, when you try to, let's say, vacuum it, it is kind of difficult to clean double layers up, especially when some of the dust might stuck in between of them because they got sandwiched.
Especially hair.
Yeah, so that can be a nightmare, but what I can see here is that you can actually bend the metal over here just to remove the front mesh, which is not the easiest way to deal with.
And not ideal as well, since you remove a few times and then the metal will go flimsy and breaks. Yeah. So not recommended.
Yes, so what we can see for both cases, they actually support 320mm fans at the front, and of course you can install the 140mm fan as well, but you can only install up to 2. So same goes to this case as well.
Yeah, and let's just move to the side panel here because both of them come with tempered glass as well.
So for the tempered glass on both cases, kind of different in terms of the installation. For the Alpha M, you have the thumb screw at the back here, 2 thumb screws, and then you just you slide it off, and there it goes. So you do get metal frame at the front and the back. You have paddings at the top and the bottom, so at least the glass is well fitted to it and you won't have the rattling glass to it. So yeah, good job on this one. I kind of like the thickness as well.
Yeah, it's not the cheap 3mm tempered glass. This is thicker.
Good. And as for the Alpha, ATX full size is...
Yeah, you do get a different mounting system. You have the typical 4 screws around 4 corners type of tempered glass.
You need to remove 4 screws.
And second of all, you need to be careful and never let go of your other hand.
Yeah, because they are like...
It will fall off.
There's a rubber washer that fits into the glass.
Yeah, it's just gonna hold it in place for you, but it will still topple down. And here you go, tempered glass. No metal frame, so this is pure glass.
Yes. Before we move into the internals of the case, let's just talk about the top part right here. There is a removable dust filter, and of course you can see there is screw holes for your radiators. Let's say AIO that can support up to 240 and 280. And same goes to the Alpha, that one.
And both of these cases, they have a bit of offset from the motherboard tray, so it wouldn't hit your motherboard's VRM heatsinks.
Yes, exactly. Both cases, we can actually see that the rubber grommets or the cable cutouts at the top here is slightly moved down so that they give some space for your radiators. Yeah, that's something really useful for if you want to put AIOs or even custom AIO. That's really good.
Speaking of custom liquid cooling systems, well, this one you have a reservoir mounting system here, but the M-ATX version does not have it. So if you want to go for a budget case with liquid cooling support, consider this maybe?
Yeah, because instead of the reservoir mounting points, we do have 2 SSD mounts or 2.5 inch hard drive mounts over there. So you still get used to some use of the space over there. As for the... it's definitely
adequate.
It's
not the best, but
not the best.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Okay, so looking at the back of the case itself, you can see that the Tecware Alpha comes with your SSD mounts here, which is behind the motherboard tray, and you have to unscrew this bracket, take it out, screw your SSDs or any 2.5 inch storage disk onto this bracket itself, and then screw it back in. So in terms of cable management, you have to get those straight cables without any angles to plug it in, which might be a problem considering the SATA power cable is always right angle nowadays.
Well, yeah, that's why you need to find for the right cable for this kind of installation, because especially for the Alpha M as well, these 2 SSD installation slot over here, it requires you to look for that kind of straight power supply, the SATA power supply connectors, as well as the SATA connector as well. Well, something you need to think of, but consider that nowadays the M.2 SSD is getting way more popular and affordable, so I guess that is not really a problem right now.
And using M.2 means that you don't have to worry about cables at all.
Yes. And speaking of which, if you think that you still need more storage, of course 3.5 inch hard drive bay is still there.
Yeah, for the Tecware Alpha you have 2 of them.
That one is like a really easy toolless installation, right?
Yeah, the best part is you can just take it out and then detach, put in your hard disk, clip it back in, and then slide it in.
But unfortunately, that caddy is not available for the Alpha M.
Yeah, for the Alpha M it's a bit
unique because the whole cage comes out like this, so that you can actually install 2 3.5 inch drive, but you still need to screw it. So it's like not really toolless, but you install it and then just slide it into the position, and well,
I would say that one is compact.
It's compact, and you don't usually see this kind of setup for casing at this price range. So definitely something refreshing.
It's a unique solution to this kind of problem.
Yeah, hopefully the rubber grommets and the screw bottom there can supply enough anti-vibration.
And also enough spacing for cooling your hard disk components. But
yeah, definitely if you want to cool your hard disk, just get another fan at the bottom here.
One more thing that we have to mention is the ability to move the hard drive cage a bit front or a bit backwards.
Yeah.
So you do have some adjustments. So if you want to give your power supply a bit more slack for cable management, then you can do that as well.
Yes.
But that option is not available on the Tecware Alpha.
As you can see, the shroud is very different in these two.
Very, very different.
So for the Alpha M, there's no fancy stuff. They're just like cutouts for your cables, and then as well as the special cutout at the front without rubber grommets. But this one is for your PCIe power for your GPU. Well, sufficient I guess, but I hope that they can actually put rubber grommets over there.
Just to cover it up.
Just to cover it up, to make things look more uniform, I have to say.
Yeah. And as for the Tecware Alpha, well, you do get these two fan screw mounts, I guess.
Fan mounts.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not too sure who's going to mount a fan there. You don't have a cutout for your GPU there, but you have to route it the traditional way, I guess, which is either from the front cutout here or at the back there.
And obviously the question raised over here is like, since the fan mount is more likely for 92mm fans, but the problem is, where does it take the fresh air intake, even if you want to put fan over there? So,
and which screwdriver can actually screw it in? And does your fan face upwards, or is it inside the power supply shaft?
Because I suppose that means that you can mount two fans at the bottom to supply cool air to your GPU.
But how about your power supply? It's gonna knock on the fan.
Yeah, so it will actually choke at the bottom there because there's no intake down there.
Yeah.
Except it takes fresh air from the front.
No.
So
So do not put fans at your power supply shaft for the Tecware Alpha.
Except if you plan to do fancy RGB builds with 92mm fan,
No,
fancy
thank you.
lights.
Oh,
So-
speaking of RGB fans, this case does not come with any RGB at all. So it just comes with this white fan.
Tecware, white fans.
Yeah, white fans from the front and back. You do get a total of 3 fans in each case. So 2 at the front, 1 at the back. And I would say that's adequate enough. So if you just want to add more fans, you can get more, put it at the top, or maybe just add another one at the front.
And interesting enough, the fan actually comes with either 3-pin or Molex connector. That means if your motherboard don't have enough 3-pin fan connector, you still can use Molex. I mean,
yeah, you can still use Molex.
you can still use Molex because first of all, this is a budget case. Both of them are less than 200, and of course, when you get a budget motherboard, sometimes they don't have enough 3-pin fan connectors. Sometimes they only supply one for the system, which for the back fan at here.
Yeah.
So your front fan, you will probably use the Molex, and instead of you have to look for Molex adapter, this one they come with it.
Yeah,
so
they just give you an alternative depending on which one you want to use. So in conclusion, I think both of these cases we have to talk about the price before ending this video.
Yes.
For the Tecware Alpha, it comes at 189 ringgit, which is wow, surprising.
And even more surprising is the Alpha M we have right here is just 159 ringgit. I mean seriously, for all the features, you get 3 fans, all the mounting points with good airflow at the front, even with dust filters, and then power supply shaft, rubber grommets. At this price, seriously,
It's very good.
It's very good.
And if you care about tempered glass, you do get that as well.
Oh yeah, tempered glass.
I would say that I would personally prefer this case because of just how easy everything can be mounted.
Yes.
Yeah.
For our conclusion, it's a good case, good price, and honestly, for budget builds, you can't go wrong with this one. And yeah, let us know what you guys think of these cases over here.
Yes, and we'll see you in the next video.